I think, ma'am, please start with your welcome speech.
We'll wait for madam. 1 second.
Okay, ma'am.
Whether any technical problem is there or we'll see.
Yeah.
She had gone to perhaps start recording. So therefore, we may require another 1 minute.
Yes, I'm trying for YouTube streaming.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, madam. Okay, sir. We can resume.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Please. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Respected our today's key speaker, our guest, Advocate Sri Udayji Varanjikar sir, my dear colleagues, coordinator of this program, Shubhangi Panchal, all our beloved students, on behalf of Dayanand Education Society, Dayanand College of Law, I express words of welcome to each and everyone to today's program. The very special thanks and special gratitude to our today's guest, Sri Varanjikar sir, who is an eminent personality known for his hard work and dedication. Actually, sir is a profound legal scholar and bold innovator, a brilliant intellectual. Actually, words are not enough to introduce or to give the introduction of the sir. Sir, everybody knows about your deep, pervasive legal knowledge, about your practicing skills, about the love and affection you have towards the law students. So, sir, we are very thankful to you for giving this opportunity. We are actually fortunate to hear you once again. So, I am very thankful to you, sir, for giving your time and sharing this platform with our students. Sir, actually, legal education plays very important role in promoting social justice, and its quality can never be sacrificed. As a part of our endeavor to assure the quality, we are arranging these guest lectures and calling the eminent personalities from various fields. Sir, actually, we are belonging to backward area, and our law colleges situated in this backward areas, they face many challenges. Our students won't be getting proper training to compete with this global world. They are not at par with the law school students. So, sir, that gap exists. It is a time to reduce that gap with the help of this technology, research, and innovative practices adopted in imparting the legal education. Law actually itself is proportional to the concept of dynamism, and the walls of justice have witnessed remarkable transformation. It's again time to have the transformation in the legal education. So, sir, once again, I welcome you on behalf of our college and entire Dayanand community to have the discussion on the rethinking of this legal education. Once again, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. As ma'am said, there is not enough words to introduce her, but as a formality for the program, I would like to introduce our esteemed guest, Advocate Dr. Uday Waranzikar, sir. About sir's qualification, Dr. Uday Waranzikar, sir, has completed his BSL in 1992, LLB in 1994 from Pune University, and LLM in 1996 from Mumbai University. Sir has been awarded PhD degree from Savitribai Phule University in July 2019. About sir's experience, sir has 5 years experience in teaching, and since 26 years he is practicing in the High Court at Bombay. Now it's Mumbai, where he handled more than 14,500 cases. About sir's achievements, when I'm going through the biodata, I'm very, surprised to see that, as ma'am said, there is no any words. But now also just I want to mention here a few achievements about the sir. Sir has handled various issues concerning rights of female. He written 2 Marathi books. He's a column writer in Daily Sakal and Lok Satta and various other Marathi newspaper about legal issues. Sir has participated in various talk shows as well as TV channel program and All India Radio about legal issues. Was a sole panel advocate for MHADA since 1998 and for NCTE since 2004 till 2018. And sir, as a resource person for training for all judicial officers in the state of Maharashtra during 2010 and 15. Sir, as the ethical legal practitioner, sir received the Ethical Legal Practitioner Award from Trans Asia Chambers of Commerce. Various posts held during sir's tenure is, sir was appointed as a member of expert committee for finalization of syllabus of cyber law in all non-agriculture universities by the state of Maharashtra. Sir twice elected members of a Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa as a statutory body. Sir, as a ex-vice president of Advocate Association of Western India, the oldest bar association of India established in 1862. Sir was a president of Consumer Court Association Maharashtra, and also a member of advisory board established under Right of Person with Disability Act. So these are few, with a few words. Okay, there are lots of things about sir's introduction, but I'm just due to the time availability, I'm not able to mention all the things and achievements that sir made. So we now I would like to request our esteemed guest speaker, Advocate Dr. Uday Waranzikar, sir, to guide us on today's topic. Sir, I hand over mic to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran Kakade, who made myself more comfortable. कसं असतं मुलांनो, हातभर लांब ते इंट्रोडक्शन जर का वाचायला लागलं ना कुणी की माणूस असा अनकम्फर्टेबल व्हायला लागतो. Let us come back to the basic issue. Thankful to in-charge principal Dr. Poonam Nathani, Dr. Shubhangi Panchal, coordinator of the Legal Aid Clinic, and all my young friends. Dr. Panchal madam, just tell me whether the speaker is seen on your screen, because in my screen I am unable to see anybody.
Sir, actually I have pinged you, that's why.
Okay.
Only
okay.
you are visible here.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Chalo, now let us start the topic, rethinking legal education and practice post-COVID pandemic. I must say, what a fantastic topic you have selected. काय घडलंय जरा बघूया. We are a student of law. Though I am practicing, ultimately I am also a student of law who is having a age of 27 years as on today, so far as the legal studentship is concerned. So therefore, let us go back in the Hindi history book and let us try to find out what was there at that point of time and why now the new things are required. Coming back to the growth of a legal profession in India, I am sure you have studied a topic which is known as the legal history. And that legal history, if we consider our own legal history, the Indian legal history, then everybody will come with me and they can say that yes, there were systems which were known at that point of time by different names, different phrases. But those names and different systems were there, but there is no evidence of imparting legal education at that point of time. For example, take a case that around 300 and odd years back, the regime of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, we have not come across so far that there was a legal school in which the legal education was taught. Let us go to the other such regimes, maybe 100, 1000 years back, or otherwise you will come to know that no, there was no such legal school. There was no specific legal education. What was the concept at that point of time? The concept was dharma. And the king was used to deliver judgments, or he used to appoint the persons for the purpose of administration of justice. But despite this, there was no separate curriculum, there was no separate syllabus, there were no separate schools so far as the legal education is concerned. No doubt, Nyaya, Mimamsa, these were the topics which were there and which were studied by the intellectuals at that point of time. But we can draw a conclusion that till very recent, maybe 150 years, there was no systematic attempt to provide legal education in India. Let us go back 1672 when the Mayor's Court was established in India. Let us go back to establishment of the Supreme Courts which were established by the East India Company, namely 1774 in Calcutta, 1801 at Madras and 1823 at Bombay. Let us go little ahead and you are aware that in 1862, not 1962, 1862, the High Courts were established at Bombay, Madras and Calcutta. We have completed 160 years few years back. In this background, 1879, the Legal Practitioner Act came. That was a British regime. There were 6 different categories which were recognized. One is an advocate, another is an attorney, third is a vakil, fourth was a pleader, fifth was a mukhtyar, and the sixth was a revenue agent. You will be surprised, Indian Bar Committee was constituted in 1923 and in 1926 for unification of all these 6 different categories, the All India Bar Council Act was enacted. But despite this, there was no any systematic attempt which was made with reference to the legal education. The Law Commission of India, which came to be established after independence, gave 14th report. Now, all of you are aware that all these reports are available online. All my young friends who are on that side, they are using the smartphone. I am sure you can get an access to the Law Commission of India report. They are having their website, or ask that Google Mosi who will tell you within few seconds, and 14th Law Commission report was there, based on which our Advocates Act 1961 came to be established. Under the Advocate Act, now you will find Section 7 contemplates duties of the Bar Council of India. And one of the duty which is relevant for today's session is 7.1h. So all those young friends who are on that side, they may note down section 7.1h of the Bar Council of India duty. That duty is with reference to the legal education, laying down the standards of the legal education. Along with that, there is section 49 which gives power to frame the rules. And those who are interested, they may note down the particular section, section 49, subsection 1, and then thereafter small a small f, then thereafter small a small g, and then thereafter small d. These are the different entries under which there is a power to frame the rules with reference to the legal education. Based on which you may note down the next, we are having the legal education rules of 2008. You will get it online. As a student, my appeal to you is you will have to obtain a copy of that so that you will come to know what is provided as on today and why the organizers have chosen a topic, rethinking legal education and the practice. And now therefore, let us try to consider what is the today's format of the education in the legal field in India. 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3, namely 18 years is the formula. I am sure you are aware about this. 10 standard examination by whatever name it is called in the entire country plus 2 years, that is for 12th, plus 3 years for graduation, the post graduation degree, and then again 3 years. So 18-year education and you get a degree. That is known as an old course. From 1983, you are aware that the new course has been introduced. That is 10 plus 2 plus 5 equal to 17 years. So 17 years education, you will get a degree. Namely BGL LLB, namely BSL LLB, namely BLS LLB, different formats introduced by the different universities. But now this format of 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 or 10 plus 2 plus 5 is getting changed because of introduction of the new education policy. And let me tell you, there is an exception to the new educational policy, and that is the legal education. And therefore this topic becomes very much relevant because we are now required to rethink about the legal education in view of exclusion of the legal education from the new education policy. We are aware that new education policy has introduced several new concepts. Those new concepts are beneficial to the student at large, to the academicians, and overall education as an industry. But the legal education has been excluded. And now therefore question comes, why? Now that was 1986 when the new act was enacted and the new regime of national law universities started in entire India. It was a state of Karnataka which enacted a new act, that is National University about the law, and then slowly 3 universities in the Maharashtra are also established. One is at Aurangabad, another is at Mumbai, and the third is at Nagpur. So 3 national law universities are there. And now let us make this lecture more interesting. How many national law universities are there as on today in India? There is a chat box, you can find out your answer and type your answer in that chat box. How many national law universities are there in India as on today? At the end of this discussion with you, this session, we will go to that question and let us find out whether the students are correct. So therefore, National Law University has given a different dimension to the legal education, but still fact remains whether that requires a rethinking. And now let me take you to the second line. which is also required to be considered. Now, if you visit the website of the Honorable Bombay High Court, you will find one more option which is available. That is National Judicial Data Grid. Make a note of that. National Judicial Data Grid. And if you click on that, you will find that will give you number of cases which are pending as on today. This pandemic has added substantial number of cases. The disposal has reduced and the pendency is 1.02 crore civil cases, entire India 1.02 crore. What about the criminal? 2.81 crore. And what's the total? 3.84 crore is the total of number of cases which are pending as on today. As on today, 3.84 crore cases are pending. All right, let us come to Maharashtra. There are 14 lakh. Vaibhavi Nirmale, can I make a request? Please shut off your camera, please. Pancha, madam, will you kindly look into it?
I'm trying.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you. There is an appeal. Please don't start your computer. Don't start your camera for the time being. After the session is over, we can have a question and answer. At that point of time, you can start your camera or even mic also. Let us come back. That particular National Judicial Data Grid, we were referring 2.81 crore criminal, 1.02 crore civil cases, and the total is 3.84. Because of pandemic, the figure has gone ahead. Now coming to the Maharashtra, 14 lakh civil and 33 lakh criminal cases, and the number is 47 lakh total number of cases. I am aware the college is situated at Latur. So the Latur college, the students are mostly from that area. So therefore I have taken out the figures of Latur also. The Latur figure is around 39,000 civil cases in the entire district and around 46,000 cases of criminal. So 39 civil, 46,000 criminal, and roughly around 85,000 cases are there in the entire Latur district. So this is that figure which we will have to consider when we are going to rethink about the legal education. Now in this background, if we consider how many law schools are there or how many law colleges are there in the entire state of Maharashtra, you will be surprised. Last year MHCET shows that there were 145 law schools in the entire state of Maharashtra which were imparting education for 3 years career, 3 years law course. And there are 125 5-year law course which were introduced by 124 law schools. You will be surprised the total number of seats which were available for MHCET would be 15,000 for 3 years and 10,000 for 5 years law course, so around 25,000 and half. This was the number of figures of the seats which were available for the MHCET law course first year. So this is that response. Now I was going through the website of the Bar Council of India, which gives a figure that apart from this 145 law colleges, there are other DEMA universities which are also conducting different law schools in the entire state of Maharashtra. Apart from that, there is a National Law University which is there. So if we add all those, then instead of 145, it goes become more than 155 or somewhere around 160 law schools are there. And for the first year, instead of 25,000 and half, you will find around 26,000 or 27,000 students are admitted in the first year. And now there is a now challenge. The challenge is how we can give a quality education to all those students which are admitted to law courses post-pandemic. I am aware that the Dayanand College of Law at Latur is affiliated to Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University at Nanded. We are aware that this is a new university comparatively for 4 districts, namely Nanded, Parbani, Hingoli and Latur. You will be surprised, for this university, there are 7 law colleges, including Dayanand at Latur, and there are 3-year courses where 960 is an intake, and there are 5-year courses where 600 is an intake. So we will come to know that this is that challenge, this is the large number of students which are before all of us, for whom there are questions. Now let us go to the third aspect. Third aspect is, now let us try to find out what is that particular method of education which we have adopted so far. There are 2 types of the education which a law student get. One is in the law school, second is in the bar. While practicing, the student also gets an education. So therefore, we are concerned with the legal education. So legal education can be by 2 methods, and therefore the organizers have rightly divided that topic, namely legal education and the practice. So rethinking about both the things will be required. One is the legal education in the law school and the legal education in the bar. Now let us go back to the law school and let us try to find out what are the steps which are there. The first step is to learn legal principles. For those who are in the first and second year of the new year, or a 5-year course, or the first year of the 3 years course, they must be surprised why they are learning this psychology, why they are learning this political science, legal history, legal languages, because it is a first step. Learn legal principle. Thereafter what happens? Then learn the law. So for 3rd year and the 4th year of the 5-year course, or the 2nd year and the 3rd year of the 3 years law course, you will find the different legislations, different enactments are also introduced. Because that's the second step, namely learn law. Now the legal principles was the first step. The second is learn law, learn those legislations. And now the third step comes, which is also equally important, but it is comparatively neglected. That is, learn how to apply principles of law and the law. We are aware about the first step. In the first step, learn legal principles. Second, learn law. And then the third is learn how to apply that. Now, yet most of the law schools you will find there is a vacuum with reference to the third step. Why? Because the teaching and the theory, or the theory and the practical, there is a vast gap. Why? Because the syllabus which has been prescribed is also a Baba Adam ke zamane ka syllabus, which has not been updated as on today. Why? Because our professors which are there, they don't have sufficient practical experience. Don't misunderstand myself. I have a respect for academicians. I have respect for professors. But recently we have seen that because of the net, set or pet, most of the professors prefer joining this academician as a career, and they do not have sufficient practical experience at bar. So therefore, perhaps this topic, namely the third aspect, how to apply those principles and how to apply the law, that is comparatively neglected. And that is that reason why rethinking is again expected from that angle. Now we are aware that this pandemic, this COVID-19 has created a situation which was comparatively such a situation that nobody thought about this. We were not prepared to meet this situation. There were several challenges before us. And since we are talking about the legal education, let me ask you whether we were prepared for conducting online lectures. The answer would be no. Whether we were having a software for those online lectures? No. This Microsoft Team on this platform, this function is conducted in the online manner. Essentially, this is not a online lecture or online lecture software. This is essentially for the purpose of meetings, and those meetings will have limitations. So therefore, we were not prepared for online lectures as well as online education. Whether we were prepared for online exam, the answer would be no. Whether we were prepared for the online assessment of the answer sheets, we will go to the professors. Perhaps they will also tell you very frankly that they were not prepared for online assessment of the answer sheets. Now, whether they were prepared for online teaching, we are fortunate that the in-charge principal, Dr. Poonam Nathani, and coordinator of the Legal Aid Clinic, Dr. Shubhangi Panchala's techno-savvy. I have come across a number of such professors who are finding it difficult even today to operate different such systems. So therefore, techno-savviness or technological comfortableness of the professors was also a concern. So therefore, online teaching, online conducting the courses, that was a challenge. Submission of the conducting online tutorials or conducting online Viva was also a challenge. Apart from that, you will find conducting online seminar and the webinars like this, that was also a challenge. Since as I made a reference about the classrooms, you will find that even today there are no sufficient, well-equipped and well-designed softwares which can impart classroom trainings. The classroom training is different. This particular software cannot be compared with the classroom softwares. In the classroom software, there are additional facilities which are there, which is absent as on today. There is a challenge with reference to the training of the professors as well as training of the staff, because we are aware that non-teaching staff is also a backbone of the entire law school. Now, online payment can be accepted. Online application forms can be accepted. Online submissions can be accepted. But for that particular purpose, we will have to train that non-teaching staff. Again, that's a challenge. Large number of law schools in the Marathwada region are having their own hostels, including Dayanand. But we are aware that most of the time, because of this corona pandemic, there is a challenge with reference to that hostel administration also. We are aware that for last around 20 years, moot court has been chosen as the most popular extracurricular activity. But now, because of COVID, online moot will be a future. We will have to upgrade ourselves. So therefore, apart from the researcher, now there will be a fourth person perhaps in the team of a moot, namely a technical assistant who will be there. So speaker number 1, speaker number 2 one researcher will be there. Along with that, a technical assistant will be required, because the mood is also changing their own dimensions. There may be a competition of a mock trial, there may be a competition of the elocution, there may be a competition of the debate, there may be a competition of an extempore. All this are going to change, and slowly, slowly they are changing. And now therefore a question comes that are we prepared about this? And therefore the organizers rightly say we'll have to rethink about this. If these are the challenges, and we are in the second wave only, and so many thinkers are saying that, and the experts are saying that the third wave is also possible. It is possible that in near future they may say that the fourth wave, fifth wave may be possible. We don't know. Let us keep our finger crossed. Let us pray to the God that there won't be such kind of a disasters after disasters. If this is there, then we will have to consider rethinking of the legal education and the practice. The teaching methods are going to change. The exam patterns are going to change. The assessment patterns are going to change. And the most important rule of this technology is adopt or perish. हे शिकून घ्या आणि नाही शिकलात तर तुम्ही नामशेष व्हाल. Adopt or perish. This is that philosophy which has been adopted and taught to us by the technology. Those who could not adopt, they are the backbenchers. त्यामुळे आपल्या सगळ्या लोकांना, all stakeholders including students, teaching and non-teaching staff, everybody will have to adapt to the new technology. This COVID pandemic has compelled us to rethink about all these entire principles and the method of teaching. Now, most important aspect is there is a shortage of the third category, namely how to apply those legal principles and the law. And now to breach that gap, what is there? There is a guest lecture like this. Large number of colleges are inviting the professors, the advocates who are having the practical knowledge. The legal aid clinics which are conducted, by virtue of which you will get some practical knowledge. But again, the COVID situation has brought some restrictions on that also. And now therefore, now this is a time when we will have to give more and more weightage to clinical legal education. Now some of our young friends will say that, sir, what is the clinical legal education? Let me use a Marathi word which is known as Karyanubhav. Means you will get a first-hand experience by doing certain things. And therefore, this third phase, namely learning how to apply those legal principles and how to apply law, for that particular purpose, clinical legal education becomes most important thing. Once we have understood that there is a huge gap, therefore the remedy is we will have to give more importance to the clinical legal education. Apart from that, you must have heard one more word, basic legal education program and continuous legal education program. These are the two programs which have been introduced by the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, and I am proud member of one of the member of that Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. This continuous legal education program is introduced by the Bar Council for the benefit of the student, benefit of the young students between the age of 0 to 7, and for the students who will enroll, there is a new system, namely basic legal education program for the first year, where compulsory training will be there. This is one of the innovative methods which has been introduced by Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, which is now getting duplicated in the rest of the bar councils in the country. But still fact remains that we are having several challenges. And now therefore the legal teaching methods are going to change. And of course this is going to create a few more challenges in front of us, like the data safety challenge. We are aware that we don't have a data security law as on today. जो काही डाटा आपण इंटरनेटवरती भरतो त्या सगळ्या डाटाचा मिसयूज होतो अशा प्रकारचे अनेक प्रकरण आपल्याला माहिती असतात, ऐकायला मिळतं. So therefore data protection laws, there is a vacuum even today, and therefore we will have to go to the information technology law. And you will find information technology law is not adequately equipped to deal with the safety aspect so far as these online methods are concerned. Now there is again a challenge with reference to the new mechanisms, new needs which are there in the society. You must have come across one news last year where Justice Bobde inaugurated a new course at National Law University Nagpur, in which, considering the need of the judiciary, a new course was prepared. That new course is for the students who wish to choose career of judiciary. Judiciary is also a very good career. And now therefore there is introduction of a new course which will be exclusively judiciary oriented course. By this time we are aware that there is a vacuum with reference to the judiciary oriented legal education. And therefore each state is having their own educational, their own judicial academies for giving a judicial education to the newly enrolled judges. So far as Maharashtra is concerned, there is a Jyoti at Nagpur, and at Uttan at Bhayandar Thane there is a judicial academy. So far as all over India is concerned, at Bhopal there is a judicial academy for all over India. But the fact remains that there is a vacuum with reference to the training to become a good judge. I am aware that from Latur district, where the Dayanand Law College is situated, large number of students are having that dream to become a judge. Large number of advocates are also appearing for the examination which are conducted under the Maharashtra Judicial Service Rules 2008. In every batch, at least 12 students are there who are selected from Latur, and around 30-40 students from Marathwada region, which we have seen, which we have witnessed for last various years. But they will also tell you, for getting a legal education with reference to the judicial examination, they come to Pune, they come to Solapur, they come to Mumbai. Therefore, the conclusion is there is a vacuum with reference to the legal education from judiciary angle. You will come to know that there is another specific requirement, that is a legislative drafting. If we consider the legislations and if we categorize those different enactments, you will come to know that those legislations can be scrutinized on the three touchstones, or rather three categories can be there. One is the category where the Britishers enacted the legislations. Second is post-independence, our Indian legislations. And the third is post-liberalization, new legislations. You will find those legislations which were enacted by, which were drafted by the Britishers, are the legislations where frequent amendments are not required. Post independence but pre-liberalization, namely from 1947 till 1990, all those legislations comparatively need more amendment than the post-liberalization, but the lesser amendment as compared to British era. And you will find post-liberalization, there is a new regime where large number of amendments after amendments are required. Therefore, there is a need for a legislative draftsman And with a sense of responsibility, I am making a statement. Throughout India, there is no legal education for becoming a good legislative draftsman. Now we are aware that judgment writing competitions are conducted. Prepare a law or prepare a bill, those competitions are conducted. But there is no specific course which is having an intention with reference to this particular requirement of the society. A legislative draftsman should be a person who will have to foresee the requirement of the society after 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 30 years. दूरदृष्टि त्यांना असली पाहिजे. They will have to consider what is the requirement in future and then prepare the legislation. There is acute shortage with reference to that. The legal education will have to rethink by considering that requirement also. On the same line, you will come to know that there is another one more requirement. In the defense establishment, you will find court martials are being conducted. You will come to know that there is again an acute shortage with reference to the legal professionals. I must also inform you that with reference to the matters arising out of the defense or para-defense corps employees, there is again shortage of advocates. You ask all lawyers from Latur district, you will come to know most of them will say that they are not having adequate knowledge with reference to this defense establishment laws. I won't be surprised because majority lawyers are not aware about the ground reality with reference to the defense disputes. And now, therefore, the new trend in Nagpur, a new law school has been established. With this law school is having a object of providing a legal education for the entrant who will join defense services. You will come to know for defense establishment, this is that first school which was established in India with that object. This is that requirement which we will have to consider. New syllabus will be required. Information technological challenges we are having, but most of the syllabus are not prepared from that angle. Cyber law, diplomas are there, certificate courses are there, but that will have to be added as an important topic in the main curriculum. Biotechnology, one more new challenge. Then for this intellectual property, one more new challenge. These are the topics which are missing from our syllabus. Our syllabuses have become age-old. They require rethinking. Let me tell you, e-payment, e-search, e-filing, these are the terminologies which are not far from our young friends at Latur. They can appear even sitting at Latur and appear in the Honorable Supreme Court of India as on today. They can appear in Bombay High Court, they can appear at Aurangabad bench of the Bombay High Court, they can appear at Nagpur bench of the Bombay High Court. While sitting at Latur, provided they know e-filing, provided they know e-payment, provided they know e-search and e-argument. But with respect, our legal education does not include all those terminologies nor gives any education with reference to that. How video conferences are required to be conducted, the etiquettes which are required to be followed in such kind of a webinar, nobody taught us. Now it's a time, the corona pandemic has compelled us to learn all this. आपला कॅमेरा दुसरे स्पीकर बोलत असताना म्यूट करावा, बंद करावा, माईक म्यूट करावा, ज्या वेळेस बोलायचं आहे त्यावेळेस हात वरती करावा, टाळ्या वाजवून कौतुक करायचं आहे, त्याचं सुद्धा तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये कसं कौतुक करायचं ते सुद्धा तुम्हाला बघता येतं. आपण प्रश्नांची उत्तरं देतो तशा प्रकारचं आपल्याला उत्तर त्या चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये टाईप करता येतात. नोबडी वेअर अवेअर अबाउट दिस. आपल्याला शिकलं पाहिजे. The COVID has compelled us to understand all these things. That's correct. Dr. Shubhangi Panchal has raised a hand. This is that mechanism which is required to be adopted. रोज आपल्याला नवीन शिकावं लागतं. मी देखील शिकतो. I'll tell you few minutes back, I took assistance of my lieutenant junior who is a young pass out because I was unable to store one file on my desktop. मला पण शिकावं लागतं. मी माझ्या सुविद्य पत्नीकडून शिकतो. माझी मुलगी जी वकील झालेली आहे, माझा मुलगा की जो आता लॉ शिकतोय त्यांच्याकडून मी शिकत असतो. आणि ते रेग्युलर म्हणतात, बाबा तुम्हाला एवढं साधं कळत नाही. आणि मग त्यांना सांगावं लागतं की बाबा रे, आमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये लीगल एज्युकेशन मध्ये हा सिलेबस नव्हता. नाउ कोविड हॅज कंपेल्ड ऑल ऑफ अस टू थिंक अबाउट दिस. Now let me come back to the last challenge and then the summing up of this entire session with you. The last challenge will be about artificial intelligence, which will have to be considered as a challenge which will compel us to rethink about the legal education and practice. आता हे artificial intelligence कशाच्या संदर्भात आलं? I'll give you a simple illustration. आपण मोबाईल वरती काही टाईप करायला जातो त्यावेळेस मोबाईलच्या आतमध्ये असणारी जी डिरेक्टरी आहे ती डिरेक्टरी आपल्याला ताबडतोब पुढचा शब्द सुचवते किंवा स्पेल चेकिंग करून त्याचे वेगवेगळे ऑप्शन देते. दिस इज अ स्मॉल एक्झाम्पल ऑफ एन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स. इन द फील्ड ऑफ लॉ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स इज गोइंग टू बी ए गेम चेंजर. आमच्या पिढीला माझ्या पाठीमागे जी पुस्तकं ठेवलेली आहेत ना, अशा प्रकारची पुस्तकं फिजिकली काढून आम्हाला सगळं बघावं लागायचं. पानं सगळी करावी लागायची, तपासावी लागायची. ती पुस्तकं उचलून हात दुखायचे. हे सगळं आमच्या पिढीला होतं. नाउ युअर जनरेशन इज ब्लेस्ड विथ द टेक्नॉलॉजी अँड नाउ SCC इज अवेलेबल ऑन द फिंगर टिप्स. Manupatra is available. Law Octopus is available. So many websites are available. So many platforms are there. हे सगळं असताना त्यांना सगळ्यांना आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स चे जे काही चॅलेंज आहे ते लीगल एज्युकेशनला सुद्धा आहे. थिंक अबाउट दिस. अँड देअरफॉर नाउ जे काही आपल्याकडे कोरोनाने जी परिस्थिती निर्माण केलेली आहे त्याचा आपल्याला एक इष्टापत्ती म्हणून त्याचा विचार करूया. इन अदर वर्ड्स, लेट अस टेक इट एज एन ऑकेजन टू इम्प्रूव्ह अवरसेल्फ. The improvement in the field of legal education and the practice. And therefore the organizers rightly and wisely said, sir, can you talk on this topic, rethinking of legal education and practice. I am thankful to the person who had chosen this topic, very appropriate and timely the topic which is now suggested. So let us come back. My attempt was to give different facts and figures in front of you, to compel you to think, to compel you to apply your mind with reference to the challenges which are there. My attempt was to compel you to understand certain new changes which are happening and which are likely to happen in next future. And my attempt was to just sensitize all professors and the non-teaching staff about the lacunas which are there. I'm sure you must have seen the difference, to sensitize them because they know their responsibility. You will have to sensitize them. And now let me go back to the question which was asked. I have not seen any answer so far with reference to that question. How many national law schools are there in India? Anyway, if the organizers permit, we can have a question and answer session. Otherwise, the simple thing is stay safe, stay home, and let us cross this entire phase of pandemic, because this is a situation when we all are having unprecedented situation where we are facing the challenges, including the legal education also. And the answer which I was asking, answer of that question is, how many national law schools? 23 national law schools were there. तर आपल्यापैकी काही लोकांना LLM करायचं असेल तर त्यांच्या क्लॅट नावाच्या परीक्षेसाठी बघा. नाही झालं तर दयानंद मध्ये आपल्याकडे आहेच आहे. नाही झालं तर दुसरीकडे कुठेतरी तुम्ही करा. पण प्लीज admit yourself to the LLM. Let us conclude my session with this note. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts. Now we are going to start a question and answer session. I request participants to raise their questions.
Actually, sir, myself, this is Mukesh SB. क्वेश्चन असं काही नाहीयेत पर्टिक्युलरली. सरांनी खूप छान मार्गदर्शन केलेलं आहे, त्याबद्दल सरांचे खूप आभार मानू इच्छितो. खरं बघायला गेलं तर सर म्हणले की त्यांचा काळ एक होता की पुस्तकं चाळायला लागायची आणि आता आम्हाला एक डिजिटल युग बघायला भेटतंय. पण असं नाहीये सर. पुस्तकं बघून आम्हाला आता या डिजिटल युगामध्ये प्रवेश आम्ही केलेला आहे. म्हणजे दोन्ही संभ्रम अवस्थेची स्थिती आहे. परंतु कोरोनाच्या काळामध्ये जी बदलती टेक्नॉलॉजी आहे, एआय बद्दल जे तुम्ही सांगितलं, ऍक्च्युअली आता इथं काही सिम्बॉल आम्हाला दिसत नव्हते क्लॅपिंगचे वगैरे किंवा तुमच्या गोष्टींना आम्हाला प्रोत्साहित करण्यासारखे. परंतु तरी बऱ्याच गोष्टी तुमच्याकडून आज या रिथिंकिंग मध्ये शिकायला मिळाल्या. आणि हा पुढचा काळ कसा असणार आहे त्याच्याबद्दल एक इमॅजिनेशन आमच्या मनामध्ये तयार झाली की सर्जनशीलता की कसं भविष्यामध्ये आपलं फ्युचर कसं असणार आहे. तर आम्ही नक्कीच तुमच्या या मार्गदर्शनाचा आमच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये वापर करू आणि येणाऱ्या नवीन आव्हानाला सामोरे जाऊ. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर.
Mukesh, thank you. All the best.
Yes.
आपल्या सर्वांचे रिएक्शन्स अलाउड केलेले आहेत.
Sir, meanwhile, just I want to ask some question. I am repeating the question raised by the Mukesh. As we are the student passing in the mid of the transformation of the technology, due to this COVID, this transformation will happen after 5 years or 10 years, but due to this COVID, it's come very earlier. And we don't know, we are in that mentality that how to appear for the online exam and how we can just shift from written exam to online exam. So we required a valuable guidance from you, sir, being a practitioner, legal practitioner. When we'll pass out LLB, most of the time it is said that if you want to do the practice in the court, don't go for the LLM. But as you said, the legal principle and law is very important. So how you can relate? Can we go for the LLM if you want to do the practice in the court, or we should not?
किरण काकडे साहेब, LLM हे मस्टच आहे. मला विचाराल तर न चुकता प्रॅक्टिस करताना सुद्धा LLM करायला पाहिजे. काय होतं सांगतो. 5 इयर्स लॉ कोर्स जर म्हटला तर पहिल्या 2 वर्षात काय फारसं काही महत्वाचं नसतं. अशा प्रकारचा मुलांचा समज असतो. सो देअरफॉर दे टेक इट व्हेरी लाईटली. 3rd, 4th इयर, 5th इयर मध्ये गेल्यानंतर लक्षात येतं अरे हे काहीतरी वेगळं आहे. आणि टू बी व्हेरी फ्रँक, वकील झाल्यानंतर कळतं की अरे आपल्याला काहीच कळत नाही. आणि म्हणून ज्यावेळेस आपण कोर्टात काळा कोट घालून उभं राहतो त्यावेळेस आपल्याला लक्षात यायला लागतं की अरे आपल्याला खूप अजून करायचं बाकी राहिलेलं आहे. आणि देअरफॉर इट इज बेटर टू गो फॉर LLM, की ज्या LLMच्या माध्यमातून आपल्याला त्या सब्जेक्ट वरचं अजून चांगलं नॉलेज मिळू शकतं. सो देअरफॉर प्रॅक्टिस करायची ती तर आपण आयुष्यभर करणारच आहोत. परंतु ते LLM जर तुम्ही कंटिन्युटी मध्ये जर केलं तर त्याचा फायदा होतो. नाही झालं तर मग अडचण होते. आय विल गिव्ह माय एक्झाम्पल. आफ्टर प्रॅक्टिसिंग फॉर 22 years, I decided to appear for PhD, and for my examination, our daughter and our son, they used to accompany me. This is something unique. की वडिलांच्या परीक्षेकरता मुलं येत आहेत बरोबर आणि त्यांना ते तिथं बसवलं, त्यांना एनकरेज करतायत. का तर देयर वॉज अ ह्यूज गॅप. 21-22 वर्षानंतर मी PhDच्या परीक्षेला बसत होतो आणि ते लिहिण्याची सवय तोपर्यंत गेलेली होती. अल्टिमेटली आवर एक्झामिनेशन मेकॅनिझम, assessment exam is based on your performance in the answer sheet. त्या आन्सर शीट वरती उत्तर लिहायची आमची सवयच गेलेली होती. त्यामुळं त्या कंटिन्युटी मध्ये जर मी PhD ला बसलो असतो तर परीक्षेचा मला ताण आला नसता, बोटं दुखली नसती. So therefore this is one of the input which I am giving. Even if you wish to practice, you are most welcome. But along with the LLM, that is more better. आपण जर ज्युडिशियरीला जर बसायला परीक्षेला जर गेला तर LLM असल्याचा तिथेही ऍडव्हान्टेज मिळतो. जर आपल्याला B+ कॅटेगरी जर असेल मार्कांची तर आपल्याला असं पार्ट टाइम प्रोफेसर म्हणून देखील करिअर असू शकतं. जर नेट सेट जर आपल्याला पाहायला असेल तर LLM मस्टच आहे. जर पेटला बसायचं असेल तरी देखील LLM मस्ट आहे. त्यामुळे LLM हे असलंच पाहिजे. आता कसं झालेलं आहे की पूर्वीच्या काळासारखी परिस्थिती नाही आहे. जो लिटिगंट आहे तो सुद्धा हुशार आहे. लिटिगंट म्हणतो की आमचे वकील साहेब हे जास्त शिकून आलेले आहेत, ते LLM त्यांनी केलेलं आहे आणि म्हणून त्यांना जास्त कळत असेल असं म्हणून तो X च्या ऐवजी X + Y एवढी फी द्यायला सुद्धा तयार असतो. क्लायंट हुशार आहे, त्याच्यामुळे आपण न चुकता LLM करावा असं आपल्याला दाखवायला माझं सजेशन आहे. थँक्यू. नेक्स्ट वन प्लीज.
हॅलो, गुड इव्हनिंग सर. हॅलो,
गुड इव्हनिंग.
हा सर, सिव्हिल तर आपण सिव्हिल ह्याच्यामध्ये प्रॅक्टिस करता का क्रिमिनल प्रॅक्टिस करता, आणि काय बेटर राहील तुमच्या दृष्टिकोनातून? आता एवढा एक्सपिरियन्स आहे सर तुम्हाला.
फार सोपं प्रिन्सिपल असतं की माझी प्रॅक्टिसचं फील्ड हे माझ्या क्लायंटला ठरवू द्या. अशी फार कमी लोक आहेत की ज्यांना त्यांच्या आवडीच्या प्रांतामध्ये काम करायला मिळतं. मी देखील काही फॉर्च्युनेट नाही. मी 94ला ज्यावेळेस LLB झालो त्यावेळेस नुकतंच 91 सालापासून लिबरलायझेशन घ्यायला लागलेलं होतं. गॅट, वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गनायझेशन हे सगळे आलेले होते, टेरिफ सगळे आलेले होते. आणि आय वॉज हॅव्हिंग एन इंटेन्शन टू प्रॅक्टिस इन द इंटरनॅशनल बिझनेस लॉ. त्यामुळे मी मुंबईला आलो. मुंबई विद्यापीठात LLM केलं. चांगले मार्कही मिळाले, B+ पर्यंत पोहोचलो. 59% होते. परंतु प्रत्यक्षात माझी रोजीरोटी ही हायकोर्टातल्या सर्व प्रकारच्या प्रॅक्टिसवरती अवलंबून झाली. म्हणजेच माय फील्ड ऑफ स्पेशलायझेशन वॉज चूजन बाय माय क्लायंट्स. त्यामुळे आता आपण स्टुडंट असताना आपल्याला मी असं सुचवेन की आता तुम्ही कुठलाही दरवाजा बंद करू नका. डोंट से दॅट आय विल गो फॉर सिव्हिल, डोंट से आय विल गो फॉर क्रिमिनल, डोंट से दॅट आय विल गो फॉर मॅट्रिमोनियल, डोंट से दॅट आय विल गो फॉर A or B or C. लेट टाइम डिसाइड. सो देअरफॉर अनिरुद्ध, आता घाई करू नका. टाइम विल डिसाइड. आणि सिव्हिल घ्यायचं का क्रिमिनल घ्यायचं, कुठल्या लाईनला जायचं हे तुमच्या स्वतःच्या पर्सनॅलिटीवरती सुद्धा अवलंबून असतं. तुम्ही कुठं प्रॅक्टिस करताय, कशी तुम्हाला कामं मिळण्याची शक्यता याच्यावरती सुद्धा अवलंबून असतं. देर आर n number of irrelevant factors which are there which will control your field of specialization. तर आता तुम्ही फील्ड ऑफ स्पेशलायझेशन ठरवू नये असं मी तुम्हाला सुचवेन. नो डाऊट आम्हाला खूप मुलं भेटतात, सर मला इंटेलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी मध्ये काम करायचं. व्हेरी गुड, यू शुड हॅव अ लॅकिंग. सर मला सायबर लॉ मध्ये काम करायचं आहे. व्हेरी गुड. परंतु आता बाकीचे दरवाजे बंद करू नका. दॅट इज द सजेशन विच आय विश टू मेक. एनिवे, या विषयावरती केव्हा तरी परत बोलता येईल. आणि वन मोर अपील विच आय विश टू मेक विथ रेफरन्स टू ऑल दोज यंग फ्रेंड्स हु आर देअर. Very recently I have started my YouTube channel during this lockdown. तर लॉकडाऊन मध्ये कंपॅरेटिव्हली जरा थोडासा वेळ असतो. सो देअरफॉर द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ द युट्यूब चॅनल इज क्रिएट लीगल अवेअरनेस. तर आपल्याला अशा प्रकारचे अनेक प्रश्न मनामध्ये येणार असतील किंवा लीगल अपडेटच्या संदर्भात असतील तर आपली इच्छा असेल तर आपण युट्यूब मध्ये जाऊन शोधू शकता. त्याप्रमाणे आवड वाटली तर तो जो काही असेल तो व्हिडिओ आवडला दुसऱ्या लोकांना शेअर करू शकता, सबस्क्राइब करू शकता. That is up to you. But there are so many things which are available in the public domain. You will have to search it and don't close your doors at this juncture. Thank you. Is there any other question?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
बोला बोला.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
हा, आपण बोलत असताना हा मॅडम एक मिनिट माझं क्लिअर होऊ द्या. एक मिनिट.
Kiran, you can just name the participants who are going to ask the question. I think Shahrukh, हंसराज तुम्ही बोलत होता. प्लीज तुम्ही तुमचा प्रश्न विचारा. हंसराज, एकानंतर एक आपण घेऊयात प्रश्न. सर, इफ यू अलाव वी कॅन प्लीज. Many students excited to speak to you.
हॅलो सर.
Yes, sir. हंसराज, please.
ओके.
सर आपण बोलत असताना बोललात की आयटी क्राईम मध्ये किंवा सायबर लॉ मध्ये खूप सारा स्कोप आहे. तर त्या दृष्टीने माझा प्रश्न आहे सर की आयटी मध्ये क्राईम खूप वाढतोय जसं की सायबर लॉ आहे किंवा इतर गोष्टी आहेत. तर यामध्ये एल-एल-बी एल-एल-बी काय आहे म्हणजे स्कोप आहे किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये कसं आपल्याला हे करता येईल? त्याविषयी थोडं डिटेल.
आपण प्रॅक्टिसिंग ऍडव्होकेट जर झालात तर प्रॅक्टिसिंग ऍडव्होकेट मध्ये सायबर लॉच्या बाबतीतले प्रॅक्टिस करणारे फार कमी वकील आहेत आता. इथं काय प्रकारची क्रॉस घ्यायची, काय प्रकारचं ऍप्लिकेशन करायचंय, कसं करायचं हे बऱ्याचशा वकिलांना माहित नाहीये. सो देअरफॉर देर इज अ स्कोप. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दॅट सायबर इन्व्हेस्टिगेटर या नावाचा एक स्कोप आहे की जी आजकाल खूप वेगानं डेव्हलप होणारा एक फील्ड आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये अजून आता खूप रिक्वायरमेंट आहे. त्यामुळं आय कॅन से दॅट फ्युचर हे सायबर लॉ मध्ये प्रॅक्टिस करणाऱ्या मुलांना नक्की आहे. त्यामुळे किती कशा काय करायचं हे तुम्ही बघायला पाहिजे. त्यामुळे अशा प्रकारचा एखादा सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स, एखादा डिप्लोमा कोर्स अशा प्रकारचा आपण नक्की करावा. कारण प्रत्येक विद्यार्थ्याला आत्ताच्या घडीला सायमल्टेनियसली शिकणं शक्य आहे आणि थर्ड इयर नंतर फोर्थ आणि फिफ्थ इयरच्या वेळेस तर तुम्हाला डिप्लोमा कोर्स सुद्धा करता येतो. आवर्जून करावा. आज ना उद्या या फील्डमध्ये खूप चांगली संधी निर्माण होणार आहे. आता तर ते डेव्हलपिंग आहेच आहे. नेक्स्ट वन प्लीज.
Mr. Shahrukh Patel, you can ask the question. And if you wish, please switch on the video. When you are asking the question, we would like to see the people asking the question. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
गुड इव्हनिंग.
सर मला मी ऍडव्होकेट प्रॅक्टिसिंग ऍडव्होकेट आहे. माझा LLM सध्या चालू आहे सर.
शाहरुख, your voice is not audible.
हॅलो.
ऐकू येतंय शाहरुख पटेल साहेब, बोला बोला.
हा सर, तर माझा प्रश्न असा होता की सर कोणकोणते प्रिन्सिपल असे आहेत की ऍडव्होकेटने फॉलो करायला पाहिजे सर,
ओ गॉड,
की जेणेकरून म्हणजे प्रॅक्टिस मध्ये आपल्याला गती आणि एक म्हणजे नाव सुद्धा नावलौकिक होईल सर आपलं.
ऑलराईट. शाहरुख, खूप मोठा विषय आहे. मी एवढंच सांगेन की आपल्याकडे प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ इथिक्स जे आलेले आहेत, जे आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये शिकवलेले होते, ते जरा परत एकदा वाचले पाहिजे. पण आपल्याला नाव आपण जे म्हणताय आणि चांगलं काम करायची इच्छा आहे, हे खूप चांगला विचार आहे तुमच्या मनामध्ये. मी कॉलेजला अपील करेन की एखाद्या दिवशी मला नवीन अपॉर्च्युनिटीज काय काय आहेत आता वकिलांच्या समोर याच्याकरता कदाचित बोलवा, कारण याच्यावरती खूप काही बोलण्याजोगं आहे. पण या प्रश्नोत्तराच्या सेशन मध्ये हा विषय कव्हर करणं म्हणजे त्या विषयावरती अन्याय होईल. त्यामुळे न्यू अपॉर्च्युनिटीज बिफोर लॉयर्स हा विषयाकरता केव्हा तरी बोलू. आपण नक्की बोलूया. थँक्यू.
ओके, थँक्यू सर.
नक्कीच सर. मी ममता पाटील यांना रिक्वेस्ट करेन. ममता, यू कॅन आस्क युअर क्वेश्चन.
हा येस मॅम. सर, तुम्ही आत्ताच आम्हाला सांगितलं की आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्सचा वापर करून आपण बऱ्याच प्रमाणामध्ये लिगल एज्युकेशन वगैरे घेऊ शकतो. तर माझा क्वेश्चन हा आहे की आपण त्याच डिजिटल फॅसिलिटीजचा वापर करून जे आपल्या कोर्टामध्ये केसेस पेंडिंग आहेत, ऍटलिस्ट सिव्हिल केसेस, तर त्या सिव्हिल केसेस निकालात काढणं शक्य आहे का आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्सचा वापर करून किंवा डिजिटली मेथडने, आणि जर शक्य असेल तर ते कसं?
मॅडम, खूप चांगला विषय आहे. पाटील मॅडम, अतिशय महत्वाचा आहे. मी आपल्याला अजून एक अपील करणार आहे. माननीय उच्च न्यायालयाच्या वेबसाईटवरती जर तुम्ही गेलात तर तुम्हाला तिथं एक ई कोर्ट कमिटी ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्टचा एक नवीन अहवाल बघायला मिळेल. त्या अहवालामध्ये तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की आता सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाच्या मनामध्ये काय आहे हे त्याच्यात बघायला येईल. 24/7 आपल्याकडे न्याय व्यवस्थेमधलं काम 24 तास न्यायव्यवस्थेतलं काही काम चालणं शक्य आहे का, की ज्याच्यामुळे इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर आपल्याला नीट वापरणं शक्य आहे. त्यामुळे या सगळ्या डिजिटलायझेशनचा आपल्याला कसा वापर करता येईल, मग ई फायलिंग करता येईल तसं स्कॅनिंग करणं शक्य आहे का, जो काही कोर्ट फी भरायची आहे ती 24 तासात केव्हाही कोर्ट फी भरणं शक्य आहे का, असे वेगवेगळे उपाय आहेत. त्याच्यामुळं हे सगळं चालू आहे. त्याचा वेग कमी आहे, पण या कोविडमुळे त्याला खूप आता वेगात ते तयार होत आहे, वेग त्याला येतोय आणि भराभरा या गोष्टी इम्प्रूव्ह होत आहेत. तर आपण जर बघितलं तर ही सगळे प्रयत्न आता चालू आहेत, परंतु याला आता कोविडमुळे कंपेल झालेलं आहे. आपल्याकडे लातूरच्या कोर्टात गेला तर प्रत्येक जजला आता लॅपटॉप आहे, प्रत्येक जजकडे एक डेस्कटॉप आहे. त्याच्यामुळं त्यांच्या समोर असणारा जो काही टेक्नॉलॉजिकल डेव्हलपमेंट आहे त्यातून घर बसल्या सुद्धा सुनावणी घेणं शक्य आहे. प्रत्येक कोर्टाला 2 MBPS चा इंटरनेट कनेक्शनचा सप्लाय पाहिजे आहे, तो आपण सगळीकडे प्रोव्हाइड करू शकलो अख्ख्या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये. काही ठिकाणी शिल्लक आहे, पण ते 2 MBPS पर जज हे आपण देऊ शकलेलो आहे. त्यामुळं याच्या पुढचा जो टप्पा आहे तो टप्पा म्हणजे आता कदाचित आपल्याला आपण घरी बसायचं, न्यायाधीशांनी कोर्टात बसायचं किंवा त्यांच्या चेंबरला
ममता
बसायचं.
मॅडम माईक ऑफ करा. सर सांगत असताना माईक ऑफ करा म्हणतो मॅडम प्लीज.
हो हो ऑफकोर्स.
त्यामुळे ही उद्याच्याला सुद्धा फ्युचर असण्याची शक्यता आहे की आपण आपल्या घरी बसलेलो आहे, आपण आपल्या कार्यालयात बसलेलो आहे, जज साहेब त्यांच्या घरी बसलेले आहेत किंवा त्यांच्या कार्यालयात बसलेले आहेत किंवा कोर्टात बसलेले आहेत. आणि या कोरोनामुळे आपण युक्तिवाद करतोय. सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ऑनलाईन चालू आहे, हायकोर्ट ऑनलाईन चाललेलं आहे, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्टामध्ये आज फिजिकल आहे. काही जर असंच जर दुर्दैवानं चालू राहिलं तर कोरोनाच्या 3ऱ्या लाटेमध्ये 4थ्या लाटेमध्ये आपल्याला अशा प्रकारचं करावं लागेल. तर ममता पाटील मॅडम, आपण खूप चांगला विषय काढला. या विषयाकरता आपण स्वतः शिकून घेतलं पाहिजे, दुसऱ्यांना शिकवलं पाहिजे. थँक्यू
सर. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
Thank you. I think, sir, only 2 more questions are there. One from Mr. Rajendra Khedkar. Mr. Rajendra Khedkar, can you please ask the question? आपण विचारू शकता प्रश्न. अच्छा, इवन प्रश्न नाही काय प्रतिक्रिया इतरांना कोणाला? गजानन ढगे. मिस्टर गजानन ढगे, प्लीज यू आस्क द क्वेश्चन.
नमस्कार मॅडम. नमस्कार सर. आपल्या दयानंद महाविद्यालयामार्फत जो काही वेबिनारचा उपक्रम राबवला जातो तो अत्यंत म्हणजे सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी लाभदायक आहे. आणि सरांनी आज सायबर क्राईम बद्दल आणि सायबर क्राईम इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन किंवा त्या फील्डमध्ये जे स्कोप आहे त्याच्याबद्दल एकदम सविस्तर माहिती दिली. त्याबद्दल सरांचे मनपूर्वक आभार. आणि शुभांगी पांचाळ मॅडम, आमच्या प्रिन्सिपल पूनम नाथानी मॅडम असे वेबिनार घेत असतात आणि खूप स्तुत्य उपक्रम आहे, त्याबद्दल त्यांचे आभार. धन्यवाद.
गजानन, ऑल द बेस्ट. थँक्यू.
सर, एक शेवटचा प्रश्न विचारू का सर?
विचारा.
हा सर, तुम्ही म्हटलं होतं की तुम्ही नागपूर खंडपीठामध्ये सुद्धा प्रॅक्टिस केलं पाहिजे किंवा मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयामध्ये सुद्धा केलं पाहिजे. तर सर, आता लातूर मधून समजा बार काउन्सिलचा आम्ही मेंबर असेल तर मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयामध्ये सुद्धा आम्हाला काही तशी हे आहे का सर सुविधा की आम्ही तिथेही प्रॅक्टिस करू शकू?
ऍडव्होकेट ऍक्टच्या कलम 30 प्रमाणे ऍडव्होकेट इज अ क्लास विच इज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड टू प्रॅक्टिस अँड सेक्शन 29 ऑफ द ऍडव्होकेट ऍक्ट कॉन्टेम्परेट्स दॅट एनी ऍडव्होकेट कॅन प्रॅक्टिस एनीवेअर इन इंडिया. तर आपण लातूरला जरी असला तरी देखील ऍडव्होकेट ऍक्टच्या अंतर्गत आपण जर का रजिस्टर केलेलं असेल तर ऑटोमॅटिकली आपल्याला कुठल्याही कोर्टात प्रॅक्टिस करता येऊ शकते. मग उरला प्रश्न असा की तुम्हाला तिथून जर प्रॅक्टिस करायची ते तुम्ही कशी करणार? तर फिजिकली यावं लागतंय आजच्या घडीला. पण ते जर यायचं नसेल तर आता ऑनलाईन पद्धतीतून तुम्हाला प्रॅक्टिस करणं शक्य आहे. सो व्हाईल सिटिंग ॲट लातूर यू कॅन प्रॅक्टिस अँड अपियर बिफोर बॉम्बे हायकोर्ट. हे आता ऑनलाईन पद्धतीने शक्य होत आहे. नागपूरला जाऊ शकता, नागपूरला तुम्हाला तुमच्या कार्यालयामध्ये लातूरला बसून सुद्धा तुम्हाला करणं शक्य आहे. हे तुम्हाला सहज त्या ठिकाणी करता येऊ शकतं.
सर, मी वाचलेलं की फक्त 1000 सदस्यांना परमिशन असते आणि तेही फक्त 1 वर्षासाठी सुरुवातीला असते आणि नंतर ते परमनंट होण्यासाठी तिकडे एक्झाम वगैरे काहीतरी द्यावी लागते असं वाचण्यात आलं.
असं काही नाहीये, असं नाहीये. आपण वकील असलात म्हटल्यानंतर आपल्याला सगळ्या कोर्टात सगळीकडे प्रॅक्टिस करता येतं, त्याला काही अडचण नाही. हायकोर्टामध्ये आज घडीला तुम्हाला सहज जाऊन प्रॅक्टिस करणं शक्य असू शकतं. आणि जसं मी मगाशी म्हटलं तसं नवीन करिअर अपॉर्च्युनिटीज हा विषय जर ऑर्गनायझर्सनी जर ठेवला तर त्या विषयाबद्दल केव्हा तरी मी आपल्याबरोबर गप्पा मारायला येईल की आता फार इंटरनॅशनल लेवलला सुद्धा आपल्याकडचे वकील कसे जाऊन प्रॅक्टिस करतात यांच्या मी सक्सेस स्टोरी देखील आपल्याबरोबर शेअर करेन.
येस सर, हरीश साळवे सर आहेत आणि अजूनही भरपूर आहेत. ओके सर, मी मॅडमना विनंती करेन की ह्या विषयावर लवकरच एखादं वेबिनार ऑर्गनाइज करावं. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर.
थँक्यू.
गुड इव्हनिंग सर.
Somebody is
I
still
think
want to
we'll
say
take
something.
the last. I want to ask sir, my last question. I want to actually request you that if we can conduct any refresher course for teachers for teaching non-teaching staff in collaboration with Bar Council of India. If we can compel our teachers to learn all these things, sir.
Madam, this can be done at a university level. And let me tell you, last year, prior to pandemic, a college from Pune had approached saying that they wish to conduct a refresher course for Pune University. And I was there in that committee who was drafting the curriculum. Speaking for Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Dayanand can surely take a initiative, and there can be a course, refresher course for all 7 law colleges which are there in this university area. All those affiliated law colleges can come together. I am saying that at least one day, or at least maybe few lectures, if those are arranged for the teaching staff of the law colleges, I am sure it will be sufficient for the time being. Because as I said that the professors are having knowledge, they need some more sensitization, and so that they can bridge the gap between the theory and the practice. If that is done, then I am sure the purpose will be served. So therefore, it is better, Nathani madam, you can take an initiative for university level. You can invite the professors from all 7 law colleges and conduct an online webinar. I'll be happy to come and be a resource person even in that session also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And
So
definitely
in
we'll
fact,
do.
we step towards a good development. This will be a progressive step for this seminar also, not only thinking but actually doing towards it. Thank you, ma'am, for the suggestion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So now I would like to request Dr. Shubhangi Panchal ma'am to give vote of thanks.
Firstly, respected Advocate Dr. Varunjikar sir, a hearty and a warm welcome, because you are not only a guest, sir. Now you have become like a family member to Latur Dayanand College of Law, and it's the affection shown towards all of us is really welcome. So first of all, it's an honor and privilege for me to propose a vote of thanks for today's esteemed lawyer, esteemed guest speaker actually of this webinar, Dr. Varunjikar sir. Sir, you have appreciated the selection of the topic. Of course, the selection was very much thought it was needed in this word, because we all are facing the same experiences. We are facing the transformation in the legal education as well as the practice. But more than that, I would like to say that we have got not only an apt topic, but more apt speaker on this topic. So I think not the topic only, but the speaker of today's topic was the center of attraction for today's webinar. So in your webinar, you have really made it a point and shown how in-depth study you have conducted, and found out what are the intricacies, what are the actual problems, and where we need to work as a legal fraternity. You have pointed out those. So very much thankful, sir, for your thoughts on all these particular points, specifically about the practical experience, the artificial intelligence, the upgradation which is required for the teachers and for the practitioners everywhere. So whole fraternity can develop and adopt to this pandemic technique. And also we have to appreciate about the lack of connectivity and all those things. We all are trying, sir, but we have to make some very constructive steps. As our principal madam also suggested, we will surely do it, sir. I also want to say that we will arrange the one topic on challenges before this legal fraternity, or in fact, what are opportunities more than the challenges. We will take it as an opportunities for the law graduates, and we'll surely arrange one more lecture, sir, even on the demand of the students. So I'm again very much from the bottom of the heart, I really thank you for sparing your time. Not only sparing, but investing. We all invested the time, and it is going to have a fruitful results afterwards. Thank you very much, sir. I will also thank you that because the question answer sessions are also very satisfactorily answered by you, and all the students are very much pleased to talk to you. Thank you for sparing such valuable time. I would take this opportunity. Thank you, sir. I would take this opportunity to also thank our honorable management members, our strong management members, because those are the backbone. Those are the people behind all of us to support, to conduct such activities, to provide all the infrastructure, and to provide all the moral support for all of us. Thank you, all the management members. I would like to thank everyone. Here, I would place on record also my thanks to our beloved principal madam, because she takes care of the proper execution of what things we have made, and a very good support system is given by her in actually executing the things which are decided. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Poonam ma'am. Yeah, I would like to also from my because investing such a time, I would thank all the delegates, all the faculty members, all the lawyers from, because sir, because today we are having the participants from Bihar, Karnataka, not only from Maharashtra, but from Bihar, Karnataka. Some delegates from Assam have seen the things, and most and about majority of them were the students. The students were very much excited to hear you on this particular topic. So I thank everyone who are attending this particular webinar and their active participation also. Of course, after this, all the students, all the audience, everyone, I'm thanking. I thank my volunteers and my anchor, a very reliable anchor, which I can just tell him, and he will be managing the whole seminar. Thank you, Dr. Kiran Kakade. And also one person, Mr. Anand Sure, because he is presenting, he has prepared the certificates and registration form, Mr. Rahul, Mr. Mahajan Madam, and all the team, the whole team of Dayanand Law College. I thank all my faculty members, all my senior colleagues, and last but not the least, I thank all the students and everyone present here. We all made a very good, successful, and a memorable event. So thank you one and all. And also my YouTube viewers who are viewing this, thanks to everyone. One notice I want to make, I would just want to give one notice that regarding the certificates, the link of the certificates will be given in the YouTube channel as well as all the groups where we have circulated this. And the certificates will be issued in coming 2-3 days. So that process will be completed. I'm requesting everyone that please fill up the feedback form and give the feedback, and you will get the e-certificate of this webinar. So thank you everyone again.
Thank
and with
you,
the
madam.
permission of the authorities, I will be
Thank you,
declaring.
Thank you, madam.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you.
madam.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kiran. Okay, madam.
Yeah, okay.
Ah,